kind of as a subset, you can realize that gender is a biological phenomenon and, and a human thought, and sex and all of the sex is obviously just, the drive, the romance, the eroticism, the impulses, et cetera, all of that is it's just something that you're basically driven to do biologically and psychologically based on the biology, say. So it's in itself is not true. In itself, it's not true. It's simply a function of life. It's just a function of getting a job done, see? But you're too stupid to know that, right? So you're caught up in it. You're caught up in the, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing to be caught up in, but I'm saying, see, it's blinding in the sense that it seems so real and so important, etc. Well, for the species, it is incredibly important. That's how it continues. And you don't have any choice because you're an individual in the species. And so that has been, you will do this thing. See? You will pursue this thing. You may fail at it, but you will pursue it, and it's going to bug you. Right? See? It's going to be an issue. See? And then it becomes so much of an issue in your behavior, your drives, your imagery, your fantasies, your desires, and stuff. You see what I'm saying here? I'm not knocking sex. I like sex myself, but I'm just saying. I'm saying, see, it's not real. And so I'm trying to, invite you to a place where you see, yes, of course it's not real. See, it's not real in and of itself. See? It's just something acting itself out. It looks real. See? And so inside of that very business, you could grasp it's unreal. See? It's not really real. Just like society. Remember we talked about society. So you grab the whole social world seems real and powerful and important and palpable, but it's not. It's something we're making up. See? And the whole social world is probably even easier to grasp than sex, isn't it? Because, hey, I can give up being social, but I can't give up sex. I'm not going to do that one. You know what I'm saying? See? Because it's like really pressing you. See? You're likely not to give up social either, but you see, it seems like an incredibly important world. Right here, right now. See? Between us. See? And yet it's not. It's important to us. See, but at the same moment, it's not real. And so as we engage in this whole business and seeing social stuff, society, and interactions, human interactions, and agreements, and norms, and cultural influences, and all that, and we see this stuff acting itself out, language, we can also see it's not real. It's an invention. See, when I say something's an invention, I mean it's not existentially real. Is it really happening in your experience? Yeah, it's really happening in your experience. Is it real? No. See, it's as if a dream like that. See, it's as if it's something made up. See, it's like having a thought. Okay? Did you really have the thought? Yes. Is the thought existentially real? No. It's something you made up. Right? So you have the thought, you cannot have the thought. You can have the thought, you cannot have the thought. You're going to have the thought, and then the thought goes away, right? But in most of this stuff, it's very persistent thought. See? It doesn't go away. See? Social doesn't go away. See? But it's like a thought. In this case, social is like many, many, many thoughts. Okay? It's like a domain of thought. It's like a domain of thought. Lots and lots of stuff, lots of mental activity, lots of perceptive, mental activity taking place. You see, that creates it. But in any case, you can imagine the possibility of it not being real, right? Because any agreement doesn't have to be that agreement, does it? See? You know that any, cultural perspective doesn't have to be that way. See? Any value doesn't have to be that value. You could change the value. See? So you know that being polite, see, is something that we do, but you don't have to be polite, and sometimes you aren't, right? See, you don't have to be polite, etc. So every little aspect, if you start taking every little aspect of the social domain apart, you can see any one aspect, probably not that hard to see any one aspect isn't necessary, right? See? So you can see it's not really needed, that one aspect. You see, so it's not real in the sense that you could change it to some other aspect, or you could drop it. See? Now do that with everything in a social domain, you see, which you can do. Well, you can do it. And then you grasp it's not real. See? In and of itself. It's as if a hallucination, it's as if a dream, it's as if, but it's a shared one. See? Like we're all dreaming together. Kind of deal, but you can see, anyway, oh yeah. See? So you could, at any time, in a theory, step out of the dream. See? You could wake up. See? Or you could stop hallucinating, whatever, whatever metaphor we want to use. So you could do that. So you could do that. See? You don't have to participate in, you don't have to be seeing social domain as a reality in and of itself, as if it's an existential reality, which is what you do now. So you see it as if it exists in the world, and you just participate in it. See? And you don't see how you're creating it, and how everybody's creating it. See, but you can see that, yeah? I mean, we just did the one thing, right? You can do one thing, you can do them all. See? And then when you get it, you go, oh, okay, yeah, it's not real, and I can still see it. See? I can still do it, and it's not real. Do you understand? I'm trying to, find a way to put these two things together, see? To have something that you're experiencing, but you're experiencing is not real. See? At the same time you're experiencing it.
Hi, I'm Brendan Lee, and I've been studying with Peter Ralston for 20 years. I really want you to know that no matter how many videos you watch or books you read, it pales in comparison to the power of the live workshops that we host here at the center or on Zoom. If you want to get serious and do work that makes a real difference, please check the links in the description to learn more. Thank you.